Hey everybody, I've got a few blanks up for sale and then a pretty good batch of staves. So if you haven't bought from me before, how I do this is I'll give you an in-depth look with the measurements, the back, the sides, everything on each stave. And then if you want one, what you need to do is you need to go to my website. The link will be in the description, it's ravenclawarchery.com, and you'll pay a $50 deposit for each stave that you want. So go to the staves for sale, click on that. There will be a drop-down box with all the options. There's a corresponding number to the stave in the video. Your $50 will go towards the total balance. So buy as many as you want. And then what I'll do is I will package them up. I use a third-party shipping company called Pirate Ship, and so I'm able to package those up, weigh them, measure them at home, and then get an exact shipping quote for you. And then I will send that to you via email or text, whatever info you leave on the checkout. And then once you pay your full balance, I will send you the tracking info and ship it out. So thanks, guys. These are probably the last staves I'll be posting for a long time because it's the last of the season stuff that I was going to get rid of. So enjoy. All right, everyone. I got a few more Osage staves and blanks up for grabs. Most of these were cut 424. These two were 623. And then these two are several years old. All right, so we'll start off with these blanks. This one's 68 inches long. It is 1 3/4 at the fades, actually a little bit just over. Alignment is okay. It's definitely got a right curve. So deflex on this limb, a little bit of reflex on that limb. But, you know, ring is chased. You could always drop down another ring. I would do that. You got plenty of room. Tight. Yeah, tight rings. We'll go down the back. Looks like one little pin knot right there. One little pin knot there. The rest is clean. And it's not tapered very much, so you can taper it however much you want. But you've got heat corrections on that one, but obviously the back is really clean. This one is 64 inches long, and it is 64 inches long, perfectly straight, reflex throughout, maybe a little more in this limb than that limb. A little thicker rings, but great ratio on the rings. Going down the back of this one, you can see it's almost perfect, except it's got one little set of pin knots right there, and it's got a reciprocal set of pin knots right there on the other opposite side. And that's it. The rest of it is pristine. This one probably needs a handle glued on, unless you're doing a really small or bendy handle. This one's got tons of mass for a handle. All right. The price on both of those are $215. Okay, these are left over from the last video. I removed the bark and the finish on these and got them resealed so you have a better look at these. This one is 64.5 by 2 1/4 at the narrowest point by 3. Really straight down the side, pretty straight looking down it. It's got a left sweep on that end, but very flat profile. Rings are a little tighter up top, but you could go down if you wanted to and get into some thicker ones. We'll go down the back of this one. I have to go from this side, I think. Okay, so we've got a little knot close to there, a decent sized knot right in the middle. That'll be right in the middle of your limb. A small knot right there. It looks like a little set of pins, and I think that's it. Okay, so that is stave 14. We'll call it 14 in this video, and this one I knocked the price down a little bit. It's $125. All right, next one. This one had the bark on it in the last video. I removed the bark so you could see it. Really clean, pretty straight. It's a smaller diameter piece, so you're going to get a lighter bow out of this one. Maybe really flat with maybe a little bit of reflex. We'll go down the back. Two, not right there, one off to the side there. So the back of that one's pretty clean. Rings are medium size. This one is 63.5 by well, that's smudge, but I know it's 1.25 inches at the narrowest point by 3 inches deep, and that one's $100. That's stave 15. Okay, stave 16. Oh, really straight. Kind of tighter rings up top, and then get a little thicker as you go down, but super straight piece. Has a hump on the second third of it going out that way. I'll go down the back. All right, so that's where your bigger knot is, but you should have plenty of room to go around it. Two little pin knots right there. Yeah, so again, a pretty clean back. None of these are super hairy. You got to navigate that knot, and then you have 2 little pin knots. All right. Sorry about that. That is stave 16. It is 64 inches long by 2.5 wide by 3.5 deep. When I'm measuring the depth of these, I'm measuring from here and then at an angle down. So it's not like a true depth, but there's quite a bit of mass on a lot of these. And I'll point out the ones that are thinner for those of y'all that like bigger handles or risers. All right, stave 17. Really straight line. Definitely some propeller twist. Like you can see, it's probably 45 degrees propeller twist. It is a long stave. It is 74 inches, so you can get rid of some of that by trimming off the ends, but you're definitely going to have to heat some of that out. It's not hard to get it out. The hardest thing is laying out your bow with that twist in it. After that, you get it cut out. It heats out really well in Osage. So we'll go down the back of this one. Little group of pin knots. This one has lots of little pin knots. You can see. So pin knots are pretty easy to navigate, but the propeller twist is the main thing on this one that I wanted to point out. And that's 74 by 3.25 by 2, and that's 150. And that was stave 19. Stave 20. Okay. Pretty straight. A little bit of prop twist on this end. Kind of, yeah, reflex throughout. It's 72 by 2 by 2. We'll go down the back. A few little pin knots right there. Little pin knots right there. And then you've got one medium-sized knot at 60 inches, so it's off to the side. You should be able to go around that. Yep. That's the back of that one. And this one's 72 by 2 by 2, I said. So 72 by 2 by 2. You're starting to get a little narrower. So you're going to see you got this ridge, so you're going to have to flatten that out, and that's going to leave you with less for a handle. So you can always just glue on a handle on these, but I just want to be up front with everyone. You're not going to get a meaty handle out of that one without gluing something on. That one was stave 20, $175. 21 is sold, so we skipped to 22. This is a pretty good chunk of wood here. Super straight. Really straight down the back. It's just got one kind of hump right there by that knot. Kind of a swell. Super thick growth rings. Really good ratio on those. This is stave 22. It's 69.5 by 3.5 by 3. This one will be $165. We'll go down the back. Knot right there. Sorry, I've been sanding this stuff and it. Okay, so this one is a 2-inch wide section going around that knot, so you should be able to avoid that swell in that knot, or most of it anyways. Most of the swell, you'll still have a little rim. Yeah, then you should split those two. You go between those two ones, and you get a pretty little spider. Okay. That one's 69.5 by 3.5 by 3, $165. Okay, let's see here. Stave 23, 70.5 by 3 by 3. Again, we're dealing with more propeller twist on this one. Go down the back. Okay, you got one knot right there. That will be, I mean, this one should be out of it. If you cut it at 65, 66 inches, that one will be gone. You'll have to lay out around that one. I would lay out to the side of it. Your limb tip should be right here, and then you're staying on this side, avoiding that knot. A couple dry cracks right there that you can see where there was a little bit of sapwood left, but those should be to the side of your bow anyways. So you got 2.5 inches right there. Now we're in the middle, got a knot right there. Again, we're staying to the left of these. This is what I would do. You can do whatever you want if you buy it. So yeah, there's some knots on the stave, but really you shouldn't have a single one in your bow if you lay out to the side. This one's a pretty good chunk. It's got a decent amount of mass. You know, you can see. So that was stave 23, 150 bucks. Okay, stave 24. 24 and 25 are thin, so you're definitely going to need to glue on the handle or do bend through the handle. Pretty good size rings, and that one's a medium size. It's got a curve on this side. The rest of it's pretty straight. Deep reflex on this side. The rest of it's straight. Going down the back. One knot there. That knot out. That's 55 inches. Little knot there. Little knot there. This one's got more knots on it, as you can see down the middle. Okay. That's stave 24. And I've got that one marked at 125, but we'll do 100 on this one. Looking at it with that amount of knots and everything, we'll do 100 on that one. Okay, stave 25. This one is pretty straight. It's got some roller coaster to it, so it makes it look a little different. And then it's got some, you know, that's that roller coaster I'm talking about, you know, some up and down throughout the side profile. If you're looking at the back, rings are pretty good size on this one. It's 70 by 3.5 by 1.5. And this one was 69 by 3 by 1.5. So you can see the depth is pretty small on these. We'll go down the back of this one. More drawing crack off to that side. Okay, two little pin